Anyway, welcome to the Village of Skokie Appearance Commission for June 9th, 2021. The Appearance Commission is mandated to review the appearance of your projects as they look to the public. We're not so much concerned with what goes on inside of the project, but what it looks like from the outside. To that end, hopefully, the petitioners have brought samples of stone, roofing, paint, trim with them for our consideration. It's not fatal if you didn't, but if you have them, we'll ask you to bring them forward and show them to us as we review the plans on the screen. The way this will work is the plans will be posted on the screen. The petitioner will come forward and describe the project a little bit. This will be the first time that the commissioners will have seen the project, so we'll take some time to review it quickly, maybe become acquainted with it, and then ask some questions and seek some comments. If there are comments from the public, and we do invite the public to come and express their opinions, we would ask them to come forward as well. Anyone who's in the room and intends to give testimony, I will ask to swear you in a minute. So if you don't get sworn in, you can't give testimony. So it's painless. So I recommend that everybody does so. With that, I will invite you all to rise if you are going to give testimony. Raise your right hand, and do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you very much. So in order to get started, before we get started, I will need a motion from one of the commissioners to approve the meeting minutes of the meeting of May 12th.
I move that we approve the minutes of May 12th for the Appearance Commission.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed? So, okay, one abstention. The minutes will be passed. So, again, I'll call the cases by number and by name, and I would ask the petitioners to come forward. Right, Matt? You want everyone to where? In front of us or in front of the rail?
I think wherever they're comfortable and socially distanced, but maybe at the podium.
Okay, great.
One of the podiums.
The first case is case number 2021-032A at 8242 Costner. Anna Khan.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi.
Good evening. My name is Leon Zolakowski. I'm married to Anna Khan, and I'll be speaking on her behalf.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. We bought the house in December, and we want to build a addition westward toward the direction of the alley. The addition is about 370 square feet, and there's also, we're planning to put a deck between the two expansion areas, which is the expansion areas west of the lines, the hatch lines. So it almost forms a U. The house is a one-story house. We have submitted pictures of the materials that we intend to use. We're going to try to match the outside brick. There's a lot of work inside the existing structure, but that work will involve primarily moving the existing walls, rearranging the kitchen. This is the front of the building.
Existing.
Existing.
Okay.
Okay, and the front will stay the same.
Okay.
And there may be some small adjustment in the the entry. And this is the back. So the two gable areas are represent the extensions in the area in between is going to be like a walkout deck with a French door.
Mm-hmm. One thing I forgot to mention, an important thing. There are comments that the staff makes prior to the meeting, and I should read them into the record. The staff has no objections with the design. Technical items to be addressed include removing the bedrooms from the basement plan, as bedrooms are not allowed below grade. Therefore, the layout as shown is considered a two-bedroom home per village code. Also, a PIN consolidation is required. So, Matt, could you go back to the plan, the site plan? Or the floor plan, and
Is the site?
that's fine. So the additions are,
The addition is, if I may, this is one area.
right, okay, and the other side with
And the other side, and the space in between those two U's is basically the open area, and that's where it's going to be the deck.
got it. And the materials will all match?
Yes, they provide us samples of brick that
Right.
that we are getting. It's not easy to match because this house was built in the 1950s, so it's kind of hard to get a perfect match.
Do we have any photos of the neighbors, Matt?
This is the back of the house.
That's the rear, okay,
It's the side.
This is the house to the north of us,
okay.
the garage in the back of the house. This is the wall of the garage, and this is the house to the south of us.
Okay. Commissioners, any comments?
Can you show the elevation again? Can you go back?
Which one, Jay?
In the front elevation?
The photo or the elevation?
Yeah. This,
That's the rear.
Oh.
So here, just go back again. Okay, so what you are going to make the extension, what you already shown, right? On the west side, okay. So it is ground, only from the ground floor you are going to make a new one, or just there is some extension?
It's just a single story.
It has to be, those two extensions have to be slightly elevated to match the height of the existing.
Okay.
So it's not, it's gonna be a crawl space.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Any other comments?
Yeah.
Mary Jane? Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Arshana, good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Jay,
Yeah, I'm okay.
why don't you make a motion then?
I'll make a motion that certificate of appropriateness to be granted for case number 2021-0328-8242 Cosnell as submitted.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed.
Thank you,
Good luck.
thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1. All right, the next case is case number 2021-033A at 8018 Laurel for Raphael Sayadian.
Yeah, that's good too.
Close enough, thank you.
How you doing, guys?
The comments are as follows. The staff has some concerns with the design, including the placement, size, and shape of the second floor windows on the east elevation. That is, larger windows for bedrooms 2 and 3, center the bedroom 3 window, and add an architectural feature by bedroom 2 to balance the different window sizes on that portion of the elevation. It is recommended that the petitioner describe the material details of the covered back porch. Technical items to be addressed include the installation of a sprinkler system and a pin consolidation.
Mr. Chairman, real quick. For the commissioners, when you speak, please press the green button so that your mic is on.
Okay, so, yeah, the current dwelling is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with a detached garage. The proposed construction would be an addition, first floor addition and second floor addition to the property, including a attached garage. The current detached garage will be demolished and removed from the property. Power lines will be run underground to the dwelling as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going towards the materials, current brick of the current house, all gonna be undressed or removed actually from the property, from the home. We'll dress the house, all of the first floor with brand new brick, and I brought some samples. Second floor would be hardy board, and I brought color samples for that as well. And the windows will be a dark bronze color, and the gutters and eaves would be a brown color as well to match.
So is the addition on the rear or the front, or?
It's the side, the left side, so,
South side.
yeah, if I had a pointer, I could help, but,
Is that the addition there, where the cursor is?
yep,
Okay. And that's a 2-story addition, I take it,
there'd be a first floor addition.
right?
And then above, we're gonna go up to the second floor as well. Yeah,
Oh, I see it on the right, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
across the whole thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, if you could get
Oh, right
closer
here.
to the
Yeah,
mic. Yeah,
sorry. Yep.
It's been a while since we've had a live meeting, in
It
person.
has.
Yeah.
It's been a few years for me, actually.
And back to the elevations, Matt, please.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the
The front.
front elevation, and you're completely rebricking the lower?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, and upper is hardy?
that's right, yeah.
You said you brought samples, could you hold them up for the commissioners?
That's the brick right here.
And that'll go around,
That's right.
right?
That's the hardy. And this would be the
Roofing?
roofing.
Does the brick match the existing brick?
The
The existing's
existing
coming
brick will
off.
be,
It's coming off?
it's coming off completely, yeah.
All right, Matt, the comments about the windows, which ones are those? Go back to the elevation, please.
Yeah, on the east. South.
Larger windows are the bedrooms 2 and 3, center of the bedroom 3 window.
Bedroom 2 and 3 are on second floor.
Yeah, so,
Bedroom number 1 is on the first floor.
So so bedrooms 2 and 3, in that elevation, can you point them out?
It's on the far left and right.
Okay,
There's a bathroom in between. Yes.
all right. So the comment was make them bigger and center the bedroom 3 window.
Well, you have to go to the plan. I mean, so what
so let me walk you through real quick. Yeah,
Go
let me
ahead,
walk-
please.
Yeah, bottom right of the drawing,
Mm-hmm.
that's a bedroom. Left of it is a dining room. Left of it is the living room. And then when you go up, directly up from the dining room, that would be a bedroom. And you go right, that's a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
One more, that's the bedroom. So I mean, from this view, I think it looks great, but they're not bedrooms. They're not all bedrooms, right?
Understood.
What's the size of the window
Yeah. That's
for
good.
the bedrooms?
downstairs is 6 feet wide, 5 feet high, to match the living room and dining room windows. Upstairs is 5 foot by 4 foot. 5 foot wide by 4 foot high.
They look okay? Thanks. Yeah, to my eye, they look fine as well.
Can you go to the plan for the first floor plan? So
Maybe they're talking about the rear elevation?
You passed it, you passed it.
The comment about the size of the window, I think, is a good one. And that, I'm glad that staff pointed it out. I think one of the issues is that it's an arch top, so it makes the window has less mass to it, and the mass of the addition is kind of big. So the windows just appear a little bit small based on the windows on the first floor and the mass of the second floor. So, you know, I agree with the comment that the windows do appear small. So whether that you go with a larger, full rectangular window to balance the mass of the first floor. It's a valid comment, so it's something
Okay.
to take a look at.
Could you go back to the elevation one more time, Matt?
Yeah, there's a second floor
Yeah, that's
floor
on
plan.
the second floor, right? So
Yes.
go to the elevation.
Go to the elevation. Okay.
You want
So
to speak
those
to-
are not rectangles. Is that what you're saying, Joe?
Yeah, the second floor windows are arched, and so what happens is the roof looks like it's just kind of tippy, sitting high. And so, you know, when you look at it, just glance at it, the windows look small because of the arch. And, you know, the height of the windows is probably appropriate. It's just that when you look at a two-dimensional elevation like this, you get an impression that they're a little small.
Could you accommodate larger windows? Or make them rectangles?
We can make them rectangular, but I mean, we wanted to show the difference between the first floor and second floor, just to give a different impression.
Sure.
And plus, we have the break between the two floors with the roof that comes around, so it helps break the height of the dwelling too. I don't know if you want to maybe zoom in a little, couple zoom-ins, and maybe that'll make a difference.
That is a good point. I think one of the issues is we're looking at a two-dimensional elevation that doesn't have any relief or shadows, so it does.
If you can make it on the second floor, little bit symmetrical. If you see that right side window, it is from the end, you have maybe 6 feet, and left side window, it is 3 feet or 4 feet. So you can make some symmetry in that.
It's
Otherwise, I'm okay.
They're both.
Smaller window is okay. I mean, on the top, second floor.
It's centered.
The left window is
Sigamos.
maybe 3 feet from the end. And right side window, maybe 4 feet or 5 feet, something like that.
Or
So
maybe-
make some little bit.
But
symmetry.
from inside of the house,
Yeah,
it's centered now
Yeah.
to the
Now it is centered?
in the inside of the house. It's centered to the bedroom.
Because of
so
where
if
the
I-
walls
if
are.
if I
Okay.
change the window from the outside, it's gonna kill me in the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it is right over the downstairs windows.
but, as
Well,
per
no,
the-
well-
if you see the plan, I feel that this is, whatever they have done, it is okay. Go to the plan, can you go back to the plan? See, if you see on the plan, because.
Yeah, 'cause there's
some
there's
bathroom there. Go to top, second floor.
that's the second floor. Yeah. So the window's centered there in the front on both sides.
Because one left side bedroom and left, so I think left side is little bit bigger bedroom.
Well, the closet's in a different place, so that's why the window's centered
Yeah,
differently.
I don't have a problem with this,
Yeah, so
Jay.
I'm also okay.
Okay.
Thank
The
you,
last
sir.
comment on the staff comments was with regard to perhaps adding a
Patio.
architecture, a feature separating, wait, I've read, covered, never mind. I'm reading too many comments. The materials on the back porch,
Yeah, I can talk about that too.
please.
Yeah, so there'll be a covered patio, as you see in the drawing there, in the back. Directly next to that covered patio, we're just running trusses. It's gonna be open to the air, so there'll be no covering at all, no roof, which will be directly over that's the covered patio. So to the right of that, we're just gonna run trusses all the way across to the garage wall.
So like a pergola?
Like a pergola, yep,
Okay.
yeah, so it'll just be open.
And the materials there are just stained wood, I presume, or?
Just stay with this.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Comments, other comments?
I do have just a quick comment for the commission, in that you can see the windows here are larger, and the proportion just seems a little bit more appropriate
Mm-hmm.
than the front. The windows just seem a little small because of the arch. You can see here, they're just it just seems a little more appropriate. And I know the windows, there's a lot of difference and there's a lot of nuances to this stuff, so I don't want to, dwell on it, but I just wanted to point it out.
Joe,
Thoughts
do you
on
have your
those?
mic on?
I do,
Okay.
but I was talking away from the mic, so I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Thoughts on the commissioner's comment? mean, it's valid. These look a little bit,
The two windows that
more
you see on-
complementary of the elevation.
two windows you see on the right are from the master bedroom. The one on the left is from the master bath, which has a bathtub next to it. That's why they're bigger. And the room is bigger. The room is about 17 by 19. So we have gone with the code just to satisfy the code with light and
all right, so
ventilation.
you're saying based on the size of the rooms, a larger window
Yes.
might overwhelm it?
Yes.
Okay. Joe, are you good with that response? Why don't you make a motion?
Thanks, Joe.
As the new guy, I have to make a motion. I will make a motion to, you know, I'd rather not. I'm gonna hold on.
That's fine. Does anyone else want to make a motion? Jay, you had some comments. Why don't you move?
I don't have any comment on that, but I can make the motion.
Please do.
I'll make a motion that certificate of appropriate to be granted for the case number 2021-033A, 8018 Lauren, as presented.
Anyone second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed? So passed.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. The third case is 2021-034A at 8807 Costner Terrace. This case has been postponed until further notice. Never mind. The next case is 2021-035A at 8822 Knox. Staff has some concerns with the design, including the placement, size, and shape of the second floor windows on the east elevation, i.e. more windows for the master bedroom and a window above the garage. And a beam and larger column should be added to the front porch. Technical items to be addressed include removing the bedrooms from the proposed basement, as bedrooms are not allowed below grade. Therefore, the layout as shown is considered a two-bedroom home per village code. The increase in the number of bedrooms to 3 or more requires a second parking space, and the size of the addition necessitates the installation of a sprinkler system. Also, a pin consolidation is required. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, tell us about your project.
I just want to throw a second-story addition on our home. Quick question about, and I wanted to remodel our basement. I've been in like 25 Skokie homes. 20 of them have bedrooms in the basement. How does, there's absolutely no bedrooms?
No, yeah, bedrooms aren't permitted in the basement. No.
It's not code compliant.
Where those homes must have been built before the code compliance?
Or they're existing non-compliant.
I got you. Okay, cool. And I'm fine with that. I only need 3 bedrooms. The home is a 3-bedroom on the drawings, and I was doing all of this with the architect from Florida in January. I apologize for my ill-preparedness. The back, it's a 3-bedroom. I bought it as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, but he didn't put the bedroom on the plans. It's just an empty room. If you could go to, it's on the first page, second page.
Which elevation would you
Oh,
like me
my
to?
fault. It says existing removal plan.
Okay.
Just the flat, right there. That top on the right-hand side where it says proposed basement plan, even in the back there, that square, he just didn't, at the top. Right back there, yeah, in the backyard, right above there, above. There's a square just hanging off the back of the home.
Yeah.
You guys see that? That's a bedroom, and that's how I mean, when it was a bedroom when I bought the home, and it's a 3-bedroom. Actually, and I'm fine with not putting bedrooms in the basement. I mean, I don't need them. And the windows, I heard the previous person with the windows. I can switch those to whatever size works for the concern of the window size.
All right, so let's take a peek at the elevations then, Matt. more windows for the master bedroom, and a window above the garage.
Yeah,
So,
I'll gladly put one there. You know, of course I'm gonna put one there.
yeah, that's screaming for one.
Yeah, no, and the size of the ones in the middle as well, they're in the master bedroom, right in the center. That as well, I agree. Yeah, I'm not a,
So would you separate that big one into multiple or add? What do you?
I would probably add, widen and add maybe a fifth. It looks like there's four, or,
Okay,
yeah, that's easy. I'm not stuck on that at all. And I think as well, I agree aesthetically, it doesn't look as good.
all right, and the front elevation, a beam and larger column should be added to the front porch.
Yeah, as well, yeah, I didn't have a chance to really meet with him in person as well, the architect, since this was all
So where is that?
right there.
Is that, yeah,
I mean, whatever the code is on the columns, you know.
what's overhanging that? Is that set back?
It's not set back necessarily, it's just the flat front of the house.
Right.
Those windows as is right now, existing, and I
Mhm.
wanna put a little, just a little overhang porch, or, just a little roof,
Okay, all right.
just a little to cover
So
from the
this
wind.
right here, where the cursor is.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I apologize, no, it would be, sorry, I'm not good with this. It would be from the other side, not north, not south.
Give us the other elevations, Matt.
Yeah, you just can't see it, yeah, it would be the north,
Oh, it's covered.
yeah,
Okay.
it's covered, that's why.
I got you.
Okay, and what's the construction of that? Is that wood?
Yeah, it'll be wood.
Stained wood?
It'll be wood,
Okay.
and I'll probably cover it with, I have a cherry fence, so with cherry, around the post.
Okay. And the materials?
Yeah,
Have you
I
talked
came.
about that?
Yeah, it's just gonna be hardy siding, and a metal roof, which of course I didn't bring any samples. I emailed and
Colors?
I can come back again, I guess, and submit the colors. My wife is, going through
Well,
colors. Yeah.
do you want to come back, or do you want to tell us what the colors
Oh,
might
yeah,
be?
no, I can tell you, the color's gonna be a light blue metal roof,
Okay,
and, I would say a light gray, hardy back, siding.
okay. And the brick?
The brick is gonna stay as is.
Okay.
It's yellow, just, as the home is now.
And the roof is?
The roof is currently asphalt.
And it's going to be a standing seam?
Yes, yeah, standing seam roof.
Okay.
Do you have existing pictures?
I've submitted them. I saw them online, actually.
There's more?
Right.
Okay. This?
Yes,
This is the rear?
yes. And that's the side.
All right, so the yellowish brick with a gray hardy plank above and a light blue standing seam roof
Yes.
atop that. All right.
It's a neighbor.
This is my neighbor's house, yes. Across the street neighbors. They don't
All right,
say.
well, I think we've resolved, that works for me. Any other comment, any comments?
Well,
Mary Jane?
it doesn't seem to me like the windows, if you could show the front facade of the house.
The proposed?
The windows are I don't understand why they're different.
Oh,
Upstairs, on the left side, they're not divided like the ones below.
yeah, that's just a design. I apologize. I'm embarrassed.
So you've got casements on the left, in the lower picture.
I'm switching all the windows to aluminum, dark bronze.
And the style, though?
Again, The style is kind of like the ones above in the master bedroom, the ones on the bottom left.
So are those double hung with muntins, or?
They're gonna be just double hung windows with a little prairie style insert.
And,
Dark bronze.
okay, and what about the casements that are shown?
Which casements?
Upper on the left, aren't those casements? Right there?
Casements are windows that open like this, or? Yeah, no, he might have put casement windows, but they're just gonna be double hung windows. That's just the difficulties in collaborating on a project from Florida.
You're gonna make it tough on us.
I am, no, I know if we could put in there with,
Will they have inserts the same?
what do you mean by inserts?
Well, the prairie style muntins or additions that you talked about, are all the windows gonna be consistent?
Yes, every single window, that's
Got it.
exactly why.
We
I'm
could say
I
that.
actually bought new windows 3 years ago for the entire home, and I'm replacing them all to match. So they're currently white, right, vinyl,
Okay.
and I'm gonna replace them to that dark aluminum brown. It's gonna, I don't wanna brag, it's gonna be the nicest house in Skokie.
Okay, well,
How the siding is going to match with the yellow brick?
Yes, that's gonna be like, I've driven for hours with my wife. We've walked during the whole pandemic for an entire year. I've been planning this for years, looking at what works and what doesn't work. And
So you decided to pull the trigger when 2x4s are $10 a piece?
I
Sorry,
bought
that was a joke.
150 for a project in the city the other day, and,
Yeah.
and it was $17 a piece.
But to the point of the kind of the layout of the windows and things like that, take a really close look at it. I understand why you designed it the way you did with the windows above the porch, because it lines up with the master bedroom and everything kind of, but it does leave a lot of blank space on either
Yeah, no,
side.
and in all honesty, I'm not even ready to start the project till
Yeah.
August or September, so I really don't mind coming back, or if we could do it via email, and I can email, and you guys can take another look at it. You know, I'm not hung up on it.
Because, I think something like that wouldn't add much expense, but it would add a lot to just the curb appeal and
Oh,
how
no,
it fits in with
I
the
agree with
street.
you 100%.
And the same thing with the beams. Rather than taking a look at just beefing up those beams, you may want to just take a look at maybe reducing them and making them larger, so that when you look out your living room through the glass doors, you don't have a lot of pillars in front of your view as well.
Yeah.
So there may be another way of looking
I
at it,
agree with that, maybe just
which
put
then
two-
also would fit with the windows above. Maybe you can kind of just design it together so that it doesn't look like an addition.
Okay, which is the whole point, yeah.
Yeah, and the window above the garage is important because, and that's the front elevation, it's a walk-in closet, but maybe it's transom windows, or maybe you move the window from the other side to the front, because you've got one on the
If you do,
side.
I'll probably keep both, I'll just add a window.
Yeah,
that's
because,
fine.
natural light in a closet is good, although, privacy.
My wife wants to see all of her things, I know, trust me. it's very
Yeah,
important.
but there's a lot of good here. It's just a matter of making sure that it really fits in with everything and doesn't look like a kind of a tippy addition.
No,
on the
and
top.
again, I'm embarrassed,
Don't be.
This is since
Don't
March,
be.
just, I haven't
and,
touched
and,
this.
and I agree, that don't be embarrassed. Would you prefer to come back?
Yeah,
To fix
to
this
sign,
up
I'll
a
bring
little bit?
materials, and then,
right,
and the
so-
only issue that I wanted to be clear about was the fact that it's, adding a second driveway, which I don't know what that code's all about, for 3 bedrooms.
If you add an extra bedroom, you need an extra parking space. So
Yeah.
it's just another code.
So if you remove the bedroom and the basement and you only have 2, you only need the 1.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that the front bedroom that's right there where your cursor is.
Yeah.
That is going to be a mud room. We're gonna knock the walls down and just make it a mud room. Just
So let's do this. Identify on your floor plans what you're allowed to identify,
Gotcha.
and that'll get you out of any additional parking requirements, potentially. Get your window situation squared away upstairs, make them consistent, do some work on the porch, check your colors, bring your colors with you.
I'll bring my colors with me.
And we'll see you in a month.
I'll see you guys in a month. Thank you so much.
So, one other comment, just to identify, since you're coming back, You're replacing the windows on the far corner. There's a corner window, and so you're gonna replace that brick. Are you gonna use the same brick from the house, or are you
Yeah.
gonna? So you're gonna.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So, oh,
And
good.
I have some left over, like when I bought the house, there's like a pile of
Oh,
the
lucky
original
you.
brick.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's there, so I'm gonna use it for sure.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you
All
guys
right,
for your
thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Tom, can you pull your mic down a little? That might help.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
having trouble hearing people.
Okay. Moving on, case number 2021-036A, 8118 Keeler. The staff has no objections with the design. However, it is recommended that additional brick to be provided to ensure 51% masonry coverage, and the new windows on the east elevation match the size of the existing windows. Technical items to be addressed include ensuring all building code requirements are met between the addition and the detached garage, and the installation of a sprinkler system. Also, a pin consolidation is required. I understand there are some comments as well from concerned neighbors for this case. Is that true?
It's the Davis one that I mentioned.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
What name? I'm just kidding.
Go right
Yeah,
ahead.
so,
Sorry.
our architect has said that we're actually at 55%, according to his notes, we're at 55% masonry. Because we asked him after we saw the staff recommendation. The other thing is, our house was built in 1939, so finding brick to match is gonna be costly and probably very, impossible. We do have the siding, which is a very, good match to our brick. I have a sample of that. Do I pass that here, or?
You could just hold it up. Got it.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. So, as to, let me look at the questions here, and then,
Is that existing elevation?
that's the existing.
And is it painted brick?
No.
Oh, okay.
As to the existing windows, he said that they match the size of the new windows. They are shown the same size as the front windows.
All right, and the new windows on the east elevation match the size of the existing.
And then, obviously, we are gonna meet the codes for the sprinklers. We do what we have to do.
Sure.
Not pleased about it, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Matt, could
So,
you
yeah.
pop up the east, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sure, no,
Could
no.
you pop up the east elevation?
So as you can see, we don't even have that much non-brick facing the street.
Yeah, the comment I'm looking at is the new windows on the east elevation match
Oh.
the size of the existing. So the existing are in the front on the brick, and the new ones are on the, right there, the A windows, I presume, correct? Are they a little bit
I think the
wider?
window looks the same. Looks like there's some sort of framing around it, maybe. I don't know.
That might be,
That might be what it is.
The brick is not, is unframed, and the hardy section is framed, which I'm glad you're framing them.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the illusion.
Yeah, 'cause
illusion.
at first I saw what you saw too, but then I'm like, wait, there's a frame around that, because the actual window itself looks the same.
okay.
The windows look like they match now.
Yeah, well, it's the illusion, like Joe said, of the frame around the new ones, I think. It's giving it the appearance that they're
right.
larger. Okay, and looks fine. Anyone else? Comments? Mary Jane?
No, I
Mark
like
Shawnee, you like it?
Yeah, I like it as well, and I don't wanna, I'm not sure how, how the process works, but and this is a case where, and walking by it today and kind of taking a look at it, and this is a case where it doesn't seem like additional brick would be appropriate. Simply because there's so little of it that faces the street, and it's kind of in keeping with the Georgian style. It's off to the back, unless you're really looking at it from the alley, which,
Well, we can include a waiver of the requirement.
okay, and
in-
that would be my question.
In the motion,
Okay,
to cover that, and it's not uncommon.
okay.
So,
The front facade is intact, and you see the siding a little bit on the side, but it seems like there, on that
Yeah.
elevation.
It seems like to add
Is it
brick would kind of
acceptable?
make it even more, it would make it look like it doesn't belong, whereas this.
Plus, it might be just a matter of arithmetic. You think you might already have it. So.
Yeah,
um,
I think they said 51%, but our architect says 55, I don't know, but yeah. And like I said, it's 1939, I don't even know where we'd find that brick.
Right. Okay. Anyone else? Archana, can you
Yeah,
make a motion on this one?
I make a motion that certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2021-036A, located at 8118 Killer as presented.
With the waiver of
With the waiver of the 50% masonry,
if necessary.
if necessary, yeah.
Thank you, Jay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Good luck. All right, the next case is 2021-038A at 8225 Long. The staff has no objections with the design. However, it is recommended that larger windows should be provided on the second floor on all 4 elevations. More windows be provided on the west elevation of bedroom number 1. A trim board detail be provided between the first floor brick and the second floor siding on all 4 elevations, and single attic windows be provided in both gables of the west elevation. Technical items include confirmation of the overall building height to ensure it meets height requirements and the need for a sprinkler system. How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
Evening.
Good evening.
My name is Carl Milkey and live at 8225 Long. Me and my wife moved in 10 years ago, and it's a single-story ranch currently, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. What we're trying to do here, growing family, 2 bedrooms. I have 2 kids. We need at least 3, so it was either move or put an addition on. So we decided we're going to put an addition on, complete second story. We're going to make it a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house. Elevation, what we're gonna, I guess if you go to that would be east facing, the front of the house. Currently my garage is set 13 feet back.
Did you say the
That
east?
was it.
That one right there.
It's the west.
Oh, the west. I'm
Yeah.
thinking facing east, so sorry.
Yeah.
My garage is set 13 feet back right now. I'm gonna bring it up to the sight line with the rest of the houses. Bringing that up what it'll do is, you can see in between what would be the north side of the house and the south side of the house. We're gonna create a covered patio with a steel roof, kind of like it is an accent roof.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a black steel roof. The roof on the house itself will be a black asphalt roof. I brought samples of what we're planning on using.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a Trex deck and white wrapped column posts. As far as the windows on this elevation right here, I have a mess up, I guess. I didn't notice that my architect didn't put it in, but the 2 windows on the north side of the house that we're currently looking at are going to be the same as size as the 3 windows on the south side of the house. So it'll not super balance it, but that room's a little bit narrower. And then the top, I agree, we should do 1 and 1. The 1 window on the north side is gonna be just a window in the attic. On the south side will be a single unit, and that'll have vaulted ceilings, so it'll actually be, that's where my master bedroom will be. Kind of in between the 2. So if we go from south to north, the 2 larger windows, that's our master bath, and then the next 2 preceding windows that will be a 2nd-story laundry. The size of the windows the big ones are 32 by 54, and then I'm trying to keep the smaller ones symmetrical with whatever is built into the brick of our house currently, which is a 36 by 38 window. So basically any of the other elevations that you look at on the first story, all the windows match the same as far as what's currently there.
I'm sorry, Carl, is it?
Yes.
The windows in the center, to the left, right over the porch there, right there, Matt. Those are
36 by
shorter
38.
than the ones to the right of them. Any reason why they
So
can't
what
be
we're
the same?
doing
or-
is, there's gonna be, for folding laundry, so there's actually gonna be cabinets along that whole thing. So in essence, to put cabinets there, I can't put a taller window,
Sure.
because then the cabinets will be, so we're gonna have like a slop sink up there, the washing machine.
Got
I
it.
can't bring them down anymore because it's gonna be probably only 6 to 8 inches from the
I
top of the
understand.
counter.
It's not fatal that they're not symmetrical. The other elevations, Matt? So that looks pretty bleak. Any thoughts about getting more windows there or making them bigger?
Larger, yeah.
So you don't want me to balance, I mean, I can make them, so, this would be, what we're trying to do is, if I drop the windows down too low, then all of a sudden, so that's gonna be my son's room. That's the only wall that we have open that's available for his bed.
Mm-hmm.
So then his bed will be covering the window in essence.
That whole elevation is his room?
No, the, yeah.
Okay,
The single is a bathroom.
okay.
And then the back side of the house, the larger windows, that's like a long hallway. And then the same thing, I just thought we'd keep all the windows roughly is what is in the house currently itself, on the first floor.
You're matching the size of these, you're
Correct.
saying? Yeah.
There'll be white vinyl windows, that's what we have in the house completely. And then since we're bumping the garage out, I actually had to have tuck pointing work done to the house several years ago, and Illinois brick masonry on golf, over by the golf course in Des Plaines, or the driving range, I was able to get a brick that is super close. But I think we're gonna end up whitewashing everything to kind of make everything symmetrical, because we're going to go in for the, kind of like the farmhouse look. We're gonna have James Hardy siding, and then we're gonna have the vertical and the horizontal like the board and batten. So white windows, white trim, and then the James Hardy siding will be a gray.
Okay.
What was the other comments that they had? I know about the sprinkler
Trim board
system.
detail provided between the first floor brick and the second floor siding on all 4 elevations. Just something to set apart the addition.
So it'll be a trim, like, you know how James Hardy, so we're gonna have James Hardy white or gray is the siding, and then everything will be trimmed in white. So the differentiation between the brick and the siding will be like a white trim board. Same thing around all the windows, the corners of the houses, inside, outside corners.
Will the second floor be proud of the first floor, or will it just be in the same plane?
In the same plane. The only thing that'll stick out a little bit is like that covered porch.
Right, right. You might consider making that trim board a little bit bigger than what it shows in the elevation. You know, I don't know if that's a 6 or an 8, maybe making it a 10 or a 12.
Okay.
Hey, just to give it a little more separation.
Separation between.
Between.
I don't want, we're gonna try, I'm trying, obviously it's hard to not make it look like it's a box set on the
Exactly.
house. I don't want that at all. So,
We're just giving you some ideas.
yeah, I got you completely. Understandable.
I think we can add one more window on the top floor, like match it up with the other side, like.
Which elevation, Archana, this one?
So
yeah,
3 and
on
3?
this elevation, yeah.
Well,
3 and-
he's agreed to make those 2 windows the same size as the 3 above the garage, right?
Correct. I actually have them in my garage already. So everything's gonna match as far as,
Is it gonna be 3 or is it gonna be 2?
it's gonna be 2.
Okay, but
Yeah.
same size?
Exact same size.
Same overall
Yeah.
If they're
size?
bigger, it would look.
It's substantially bigger because,
It's gonna be
let's see.
same on both sides, like,
No, there'll be 2 on one side and 3 on the other.
on the,
But the windows are gonna look like the ones over the garage,
Taller,
taller.
Much taller.
oh,
right.
20, what is that? That's like 21 inches taller.
And you'll
Right.
match the header, because they're higher above the garage, the top of the window. So the top of the window will
Yeah,
line up.
they'll be symmetrical.
Okay, so
like
it's not gonna be
No, it
lower
won't
like
be
it's
like
shown.
a seesaw.
Right.
Like if you see the
Okay.
top of the garage and then
Yep.
in our master bath, those are symmetrical, so it'll be straight across. Yeah.
Because right now it shows that
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
that's because the windows are shrunk. Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah,
didn't-
so that's one of the.
I already
reasons.
have them purchased, honestly, so that was the game plan.
You had mentioned something about the gable windows, those were gonna change a little bit, because your master bedroom has a
They were only
vaulted
gonna be
ceiling.
singles, a single and a single.
Okay, so instead
Yeah.
of two above the three, they'll have one there,
Correct.
and then one on the other
Correct.
side. Okay.
And then the other thing we're tossing around is, from peak to peak, that, you know how they put that trim board, and then putting a different, like a shingled kind of look, James Hardy look. So you'll have the vertical, and then you'll have like an accent. I have a brochure if you want.
Please.
Is that in the packet?
No.
Okay. There's been no public comment on any of these items so far.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
So see how, I don't know if you want to pass this around, see how they go vertical, and then it looks like, kind of like roofing, kind of, I guess you guys can, it's just decoration. It's to break up, so not everything is symmetrically flat.
Yeah, I like the way you used the vertical board and batten in the center of or vertical siding in the center. It's a.
What did you?
So it'll be
nice,
like three things, so
really-
the vertical, you have the board and batten,
Yeah.
and then, you know, the new thing nowadays is, it looks kind of like roofing, but it's not
I
roofing.
think just the
Yeah.
windows.
I'm sorry, what is the feature that you're pointing
If you
out?
look where the single window is,
Here.
right there, if you look into it, it's not actually just vertical siding. It has a slight accent of something different than.
Oh,
I believe you.
So it's got a texture.
Okay, I think we've covered all the items. We've made some changes, however. Does anyone feel up to a motion?
I do have one comment. It's not, this is not a make or break, but it's really more of a comment, and I think it's gonna improve your livability, and it'll improve the house, but you've got a rather small backyard and a really narrow, your house is, it's a Skokie corner house.
Yeah.
Your mudroom doesn't have a door to the little patch of grass you got between your house and the alley. Would you consider putting a door on that side? I know you'd have to cut through brick, but it would make your
I
house
have
a lot better.
I have a sliding patio door. Let's see, this is,
It would be the first floor,
so this
This is
is.
second.
there we go, yeah. Yeah, so,
So-
yeah,
Right here, so the mudroom, right here in the middle.
Yeah.
This one that's striped up and down, I have a double sliding patio door.
on the front side, on the street side,
No,
on the, okay.
On the other side.
And your setback's probably 5 or 6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, this is not this is just improving livability, and it's something I saw that if you had a party or something, you had a barbecue in your backyard, you can go straight through your mudroom to the patch next to the garage, to your
So
backyard.
where are you saying put a door?
I'm gonna get up. Right here. So you
Oh,
can get
this
up.
is, okay.
Because I'm assuming you've got a small patch of grass between your house and the alley on that side. Is that where, or
It's
am I?
actually, it's not giant, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just, again,
You have to
I
go
don't want
back
to
to the mic.
start an argument or anything like that. It was just, this is just a comment, and something for you to
Because
consider to think about.
we have actually from north side of the house, the east end of the house, I have a paved walk,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and there's an air conditioning unit, and I do that. I barbecue in my little patch, and I wish I had a door to the back. So
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
all I'm saying, is just
Okay.
keep an eye on it. You said you've got kids, it's probably a good idea to have a spot on the side to get to the backyard.
Gotcha.
Because when you barbecue in that little space, if there's not a lot of air, I have to be careful of my neighbors. So, just a heads up.
I got cool neighbors. I have Terry O'Lean is my neighbor, I'm sure.
All right, well, whether we can give you an option for the door in the motion. Does anybody feel up to it? All right, good, because I want to do it. I move that it's, no comments, right? I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2021-038A at 8225, along with the following provisions that, Matt, if you could go to the elevations for me, please, the other way.
Yeah. The front?
That's good, that the, so the west on the left, the north windows of the west elevation on the second floor be increased in size to be consistent with the 3 windows on the south side of the west elevation, that only 1 attic window per gable be used instead of, thus eliminating 1 on the south side of the west elevation, that that's it on that elevation. Could you give me a couple? That's fine. Everything else was fine. That the trim board separating the first floor from the second floor be increased in width to provide more separation of the materials from the first and second, and all the way around, that the technical items as well as the sprinkler system and the overall height be compliant, and that
The door.
the owner have the option of providing a door at the mudroom
Is that here?
Other elevation. Right there.
of his choosing.
Here.
That would be where it would be, yeah.
Need a second.
Thank you. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Good luck.
Do you want that?
No, you can have that. Jay, would you grab that?
Appreciate it.
Tom, this is the one where we have the public comment, and
Thank you very much. The next case, and I apologize, I have not been identifying the cases properly as they come up. The next case is case number 2021-039A at 4444 Davis for Gary Ashman, Mark Golan, either presenting or architectural representation, I'm not sure. Are they here?
They are not. I'm Mark Golan. I'm their architect.
Okay.
So
Hi, Mark.
I'll be speaking with you this evening. We're doing a porch. If you hold that picture, that's the best example. The structure that you see sort of in the crotch of the L there is an existing breakfast room. It's got a flat roof. We're pulling that same profile toward you from this angle. No, let's come that way, kind of to cover the tarped furniture that you see. And it'll be a screen porch. They basically don't use their patio because of mosquitoes. So they'd like to screen it, and there are a couple of drawings. You'll only see it from 2 views because it's in this courtyard of the L. So maybe drawings now would, well, those aren't views where you'd see it from. Those are just kind of the periphery. Okay, there. The one on the left is what you would see if you were east of the house, and it's simply that same roof line being sort of taffy pulled to cover the patio. The one on the right is what you would see if you were north of the house, and that's the project. It's a screened porch. You're seeing the floor plan there. Over to the left, now if your cursor follows the line you were just touching, down, that's the 9-foot setback line. Keep going with your cursor. That's it. So the shape of the porch not only follows the 45-degree angles that you see elsewhere on the house, but it also needed to be sculpted to avoid encroaching on the required 9-foot setback. So you're seeing there the outline of the porch. and it's sitting where there's currently a patio, so there's no change in impervious surface, and we are still within FAR limits and ground coverage limits.
And on that, stay there for a second, Matt. On that same plan, what is basically the outline of the existing, is that it there, or?
No, where your cursor is, okay. If you start your, do you see the little door leading out of the porch to
Yes,
the left? Go
yes.
up, please. That
Right
door.
there.
Okay, now follow your cursor down, to the left. Okay, from that door, when you hit the first bend, start at the door, please, if you will. Now come down, now
Right
go to
there.
the left.
There,
Now down,
down,
down, 45-degree angle, back to the right. That's what we're building.
okay.
The
By
big-
the whole width of that,
No, the big structure with the spiral stair exists now. That,
Got it.
That we can go back to the photo and you'll see that.
okay,
So the new structure is really very small compared to the building that's growing out. The big building, the big octagon exists now. So we're just kind of building that area to cover what you're now seeing as outdoor furniture covered with a tarp.
got it. Got
I
it.
love the angles, it looks great.
Thank you.
And material-wise?
If we can go back again to the photo, it's really all screens,
Sure.
except for, I'm sorry, the drawing will actually show it better. Okay, you see there's a little bit of a knee wall, a little bit of wall
Matt,
up to
could
the
you
bottom of the
enlarge
screens.
that, please? Sorry to interrupt.
I need you to scroll, there. You see there's a little bit of wall that comes up from the ground to the screens?
Yep,
We set that wall at the same height as the window sill you see to the left.
yep,
Which is their dining room, and that will match the siding, which is the more prominent material on the big octagon. And we did discuss, you see how it's mimicking the white material, which is cedar
Sure.
siding. And as I've often had discussions on screen porches with people, do you run the screen all the way to the ground? Do you run a knee wall part way up? There's sort of three options. You run it up to table height and they put their drinks on it, or you run it all the way to the ground. In this case, we wanted it high enough that animals don't run in and out. I mean, it's
Sure.
not even an aesthetic decision. Some animal runs by, the dog will run right through a screen. So we wanted enough of a knee wall to guard against that.
understood. Okay. Comments from the commissioners? Anyone?
Looks great.
I have the public comment. Like
Thank
to
you.
read into the record?
Please.
Okay. This was an email received yesterday, and it's to the Appearance Commission members. It's a neighbor who lives on Kenneth Avenue next door to the Davis Street property, for which a first floor addition has been requested. Prior to the approval of this request, we ask that the impact this expansion will have on water drainage for our neighbor's backyard, as well as our own backyard, be thoroughly investigated. We want to make sure that this expansion does not result in increased risk of flooding of our property and issues with water drainage in our backyard.
I can respond to that if you'd like.
Is that the extent of the comment?
That's the end, yes.
We're not changing the impervious surface. This building is going where there's already a patio, so
Right.
it'll have no effect on the drainage.
Thank you for your answer. It's a good answer, and it also is not under the purview of this commission to opine about that. But looks like everything, like you say, is going to be built upon existing impervious
That's right.
strata.
So, and just for everyone's edification at home, we do review that during the permit review process.
Okay.
So it's something that we look at the downspouts and, where water is directed and all
Right.
that, so.
Right. So, having said all of that, does anyone feel up to a motion?
I will.
Please.
Okay. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted to case 2021-39A at 4444 Davis as presented.
Any second?
Second.
Any, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, the next case is case number 2021-040A at 8717 Laramie for Amanda Reed and Daniel Freeman. Hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda, the homeowner. We bought this house about,
I'm sorry, let me read the comments in.
oh, yes.
It's been such a long time. Staff has some concerns with the design and recommends that the addition be more complementary to the existing home, such as providing a south-facing gable roof and relocating the second floor window into an east-facing dormer and adding a brick wainscot around the perimeter of the addition.
Okay, so we have been in the house for about 9 years. We now have 2 sons. We all like to cook. Our kitchen is about the size of this podium. We need a bigger kitchen. We scrimped and saved and are now hoping to be able to build a kitchen so that we can enjoy cooking together, enjoy meals together, and also convert the existing kitchen into a mudroom laundry room where they can drop their backpacks, their boots, sports equipment, and so on. So we're working with our architects and friends, who, architect is right here, to build a kitchen addition. So the siding matches the existing siding of the garage, the existing siding of the whole rest of the house. And we actually, when we were talking about what the possibility of the kitchen would be, the architects drafted some sketches of a gable roof. We looked at it and it just, the sacrifice of losing that southern exposure of the window that you see right there is the main bedroom. You have a second story window, that's the main bedroom. It gets this really great southern sunlight. So to, you know, and if we were to move that window, create a dormer, do east-facing windows, there's a closet right there, so we'd have to we'd basically take, you know, a very small first floor addition, and then we'd have to start doing construction upstairs, which we was not in scope and don't want to do. So we like the way that the upstairs bedroom is now. We're not, yeah, I appreciate the recommendation, but it's just, we like the house the way it is. We just need a bigger kitchen, that's it. That's all we really have budgeted for. That's all, you know, and we also prefer the shed roof. It's in keeping with the lines of the rest of the property. So yeah, so it is something that we had considered. The architects had drawn out, and we all came to the unanimous decision. The architects, there are 2 architects working on the project, and myself and my husband, that the shed roof, no gables, would just be a better fit for what we're trying to do.
I understand the comments of the staff in that I'm opposed to the shed roof. You know, you have a house and a garage and a porch or whatever in the front. I don't know if that's the garage or anything. They're all gabled, and now the addition looks to me like an addition, and it's not picking up the architectural features of you know, of the existing house. I understand, you know, the need for more space and how you get there is usually challenging, but I mean, go back to that elevation right there. Stop. I mean, that kind of is screaming at me that that the slope of the shed is not consistent with the slope of that gable in the front. And it's not pleasing to me. You know, I don't know if that can be, you know, redesigned to give you the, you know, to meet your space needs, but to me, it looks like it's been, you know, just slapped on the side of the building. Rakshana, any comments?
Mind
Joe?
having a flat roof? I mean, there will still,
So this is our friend the architect, Chris, who
Mhm.
is working on the project with us.
Hi.
Hi.
For the record, my name is Chris. My husband and I are the architects of
Okay.
the project. Several months ago, when we started the project, we did several roof-type studies
Mhm.
for the addition. And understanding that the program was specific for the first floor, we did explore alternate ways of doing a roof
Mm-hmm.
other than shed that would not impact the second floor, including that window up
Right.
above. So I can share with you some of these renderings if you'd like to see what we were looking at in terms of a gable structure.
Well, before you do that, would you be willing to move in that direction? You
Well,
may
I
not
want
want to present them if you're not.
I mean, it's not our preference. That's not what we want to do. But if it means that we have to do that, or so if we have to do that, or nothing, we're open to it. But that's not what we budgeted for. It's not what we want to do. It's not our preference. So, but if it's a requirement, like
Well, we're not here to require
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
We're here to look at the appearance. These are our comments. There will be a vote, as you've seen all night long. If the vote fails, then, you'll have to redesign anyway. So, and I don't know if you're gauging the temperature of the commission right now on the submission. You've heard my comments, and that's about it. So if you'd like to show us your other studies, sure. That's okay, right, Matt?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So the red box on the bottom is what you see here, and then immediately above it shows it's
Matt,
a double gable.
can you get those up there? Do we have that fancy
You are-
machine anymore, or is it
We do, but it may be beyond my
your
technical
capabilities?
capability
I can
at
pass
this
it.
moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
I had training for about 15 minutes 18 months ago on how to, so,
And then COVID hit.
right, exactly.
In the interest of, as this is going around, I do have a couple of comments as well, and I agree with the comments of staff and fellow commissioners. There's a couple of things going on that may be able to be resolved, and I think one of them is that it's hard to see that the addition is recessed a little bit. And there may be a way of, it's the roof line, I think, is what everyone's really kind of, because it doesn't follow the roof line of the gable of your living room and the gable of the house. They're all proportionate. And there may be a way that you can take a look at it by maybe creating an outdoor space in the front, and then maybe like a pergola or something that comes across that creates a flat line, so that when you pass the house and you're looking at it, you're not looking at that kind of shed, that addition. The point is to make it not look like an addition, because or if it's an addition, make it like really, like, do like a Nietzsche panel or something, make it red and, go crazy with it, but.
You would vote for that?
I would, but, if you're gonna go different like you're going.
Sure.
And that's expensive, and, it's,
Right.
but if you're gonna go that different, sometimes it's better to just go different, and instead of trying to make it, look like an addition. But, that said, there may be a way, I can't tell by the floor plan of the there isn't a floor plan of the kitchen, but it looks like there's a.
There is a floor plan in the packet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just zoomed by it.
Oh, I didn't say, okay. Because it looks like with the patio door that you have facing the side, that space right there and the door is probably a eating area anyways. So you may be able to take a look at creating
So, your thoughts on your studies? Joe,
No, and that's fine, that's great. I was, I'd be interested in getting this up.
Sure, so in order to explore the gable idea without doing any modifications to the second floor, we looked at the double gable, so that would allow, you know, connection of the two, but without sacrificing the sill height of the egress window up above.
I like it better, just, that's me. And I didn't discern too much between 2 and 3. I
Well,
presume those are elevation,
Those were different material
materials and.
studies.
Yeah, okay, all right, but the roof lines are the same.
Right. So the one on the bottom left, which is not fully on screen right now, is the one that we have presented to you. And then
Right.
up above it would be with siding on the outside and the double gable.
I think the part that bothered all of us were those two peaks that poke up.
That poke
on-
up above the
Yeah.
transition
Yeah,
line.
so it's just kind of like the.
And thus
two
is
lines
matching
of
the
shed
pitch.
roof Were, you know, we just preferred that, just having those two little bits, just kind of, it just didn't sit right.
Is there a solution to that, Joe?
well, somebody mentioned earlier, did you consider a flat roof? That might, you know, you might be able to go with a second floor deck eventually, and as like a phase 2 in 10 years. It does, you know, what I see what you're doing with this shed roof like that, because you're meeting that transition line and you're coming down, and you're probably creating a little bit of vault space in the kitchen, which is nice, but you could also go a little higher with a flat roof and get that vault space, and keep the window facing south in the master bedroom, and keep that as, and then you could always go, like for phase 2, when you're, you know, you want to retire in Skokie in 20 years and you want to stay put, you can always then have a way of expanding further. So, you know, it's something to consider, because I think that would resolve the odd angle of that shed roof, and it's not adding a big expense, plus you're not in all of the extra gables and little peaks, you know, going above that transition line. And I think it would resolve the issue that we have.
Right.
And maybe like you can use the flat roof if you have like I don't know what the function of the second floor is on that
It's the
side,
primary
but
bedroom.
you can open, it's a bedroom?
Yes.
You can open up and have like a rooftop.
Yeah, that's what Joe was
Yeah.
suggesting.
Yeah, that's something.
And it would be in keeping with the kind of the 50s style of a lot of the houses
Sure.
in Skokie.
That's something I guess we could look at.
We can. We do have skylights proposed in the shed roof. We like the idea of having the skylights and bringing additional light in. Skylights on the flat roof. Obviously, minimum pitch necessary in order for drainage, but you're okay with skylights that you wouldn't see because it's otherwise a flat roof.
That is not an appearance issue,
Okay.
so, sure. So any suggestions now that you've heard our comments?
I think it's something that we're open to, I think we want to see the sketches and, you know, talk to my husband.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
But I-
time is not of the essence right now for you?
Yeah, I mean, it can wait, it's waited this long, we can wait another month.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to our comments, and we'll send you back for some other studies and come up with an alternative that, you know, that you like as well as us. So, thank you.
Can we ask you about your second point, though, regarding the material on the outside? There was the comment about brick in lieu of siding.
So
That does have a financial impact.
Adding a brick wainscot around the perimeter of the addition. I understand the need for fiscal responsibility in design and economics, so I don't think that's gonna be a deal breaker.
There's some things you can consider that might not be masonry that would at least help it kind of fit in with the whole thing, so, and it'll benefit your long-term value of the house, and maybe it's just a trellis above the window on the addition or something like that, so that it doesn't, just so that it ties in somehow, and I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's, just give it a little bit of,
It could even be
pop.
landscaping for, you
Yeah.
know.
Right,
Yeah.
which we are proposing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
repeal that.
I,
Because it's recessed back from the street, and it's,
Correct.
you know, it's,
correct,
it could be a really easy solution, you know,
right.
a window box.
We have a vegetable, right now we have a vegetable garden that's dormant right now, but, because we were, hoping for the addition, somebody didn't plant anything this year.
Oh,
It's like
boy.
right outside of where the.
So
walkout-
time is of the essence.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you in a month.
Real quick, our next meeting is July 14th. If you'd like to be on the agenda and have revisions, if you could send something to us a week before. And if you have any questions in the meantime, you can email or call, so, okay.
Thank you. We'll see you in a month. Okay, moving on. The next case is case number 2021-037A at 8253 Kimball for Howard Dardick, an industrial first floor addition.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Might want to just give us a minute. Oh, and the comments are, staff has no objections with the design. Technical items include a zoning board of appeals approval on Wednesday, July 7th.
Correct.
Okay. This is your property?
Yeah, that's a property right at 9 feet to the back of the property approximately, which will line up with the building that is on the north of us, which we own. We own the building on either side of it, and it'll line up on the north, and it'll line up halfway more on the south, because both those buildings come out way further than this particular building. They'll have a larger garage door that's the front. See, if you look at it, the far building is where we want to come out to approximately. We'll have a larger garage door, which will make it easier to get in and out of there, and that's basically what we're doing, is we're adding 9 feet.
Reusing the brick?
We're kicking around whether to do with, either to go with block or possibly even poured concrete.
Okay. Comments, anyone? Nope. Looks fine. Anybody? Jay?
Yeah.
Jump on it. Please.
I make a motion that certificate of appropriateness to be granted for the case number 2021-0372, located at
Is his microphone on?
Kimball, as presented.
Is your microphone on? Why'd you do that again?
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that certificate of appropriateness to be granted for case number 2021-037A 8253 Kimball as presented.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I turned the volume as high as it goes, so that, I
Yeah.
think that fixed it. I don't
Okay.
know.
All right, moving on. Next case is 2021-041A at 5270 Lincoln for Syed Kadri. A commercial facade. The comments, sorry. Staff has some concerns with the design and recommends that the thickness of the fascia at 5270 Lincoln remain as is to complement the rest of its architectural features and be a complementary color to the fascia at 5264 Lincoln. Excuse me. Technical items include meeting other village code requirements, including occupancy, parking, and subdivision regulations, including a PIN consolidation or simple subdivision. Okay. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm actually existing owner of this grocery store, Badri Foods, on the right. Yeah. So we just bought this 2 months ago. This new building, which is the next building to this Badri Foods, but there is a 5 feet alley between it. So we would just like to combine it with a corridor of 10 feet.
Okay.
So that I'll make the main entrance of, from the new building, and the customers could go inside to the next building through that corridor.
So there's going to be an entrance somewhere.
Yeah, over there. Yeah. This
Okay.
will be the entrance. and
Right.
close all the other entrances.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking at the demand of the neighborhood, and for the convenience, so we just thought of buying it out.
So the fascia at 50, he says, is. Matt, can you blow that up a little? The photograph first?
This one?
Yeah. Please.
Can you enlarge?
All right, so they're suggesting we keep that as is. And as is to complement the rest of the features and be complementary of the fascia, as opposed to covering it up. Well, wait. All right, they don't line up. The 5270 is
Yeah, they don't line up.
Is
Yeah, 5270
is forward of
yes,
5264. All
So
right.
it's gonna be connecting in somewhere in the middle over there.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what?
yeah, over there.
Yeah, it'll connect right there. And what will that material be?
It's mentioned.
What is that orange stuff?
Yeah, that's the bricks.
So you're introducing brick, and is there any brick right now?
Right now, from the east side, if you see, we'll match up the same color bricks of 5270. It's gonna be a little yellow, yeah.
So, okay, so there is some brickwork there, and so you're gonna try to match that?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
From this side, yeah.
Do you have the plan?
The interior plan?
How this, where it is connected, like the plan of both the buildings and.
Is there a floor plan?
Yes.
Maybe.
That's the wrong way.
Yeah, I think that's the only plan is the one you had up in the packet. Yeah, that one,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. This is it.
So that's it. So,
Yeah, that's the corridor.
okay. So where is that brick introduced? Is it behind the elevation of 5264?
Yeah, over there. Where the curtain
It'll be there,
Yes.
but you said there's a corridor there. Is that only open from the back?
It connects the buildings. These are separate buildings,
Sure.
and this will be a connection here.
Yes.
Okay. So,
It'll be a
but
pass-through.
the brick will be at the same plane as the front elevation of 5264, right there.
Yes.
Correct, okay.
Which
I,
will match
all right.
The wall of-
I understood that.
Okay.
They're also
So both
proposing,
buildings are not in the same line. One is,
Yes, one is a little forward.
maybe it is 20, 30 feet difference between.
least 30 feet, yes.
I really, you know what, I kind of like the staff's comments about, you know, leaving the 5270 facade alone, and leaving the facade, you know, 5264, if you want to upgrade that, is fine, but they are two separate buildings, you know, and they'll look, even after you connect them, they'll look like two separate buildings. And I think architecturally, 5270 has more interest. And you're in putting that facade up, you're going to remove the interest, in my view. Arshana, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I agree. Unless they work on the elevation and the sign to match, to complement.
Well,
the
signage, you know,
5270.
but see, what he's trying to, I think what you're trying to do is replicate 5264 in some fashion, when it might be wiser to try to replicate 5270.
Or we can get that from the facade from 5264 and just stop it here by 5270?
Yes.
And just
Yes.
leave it as is, yeah?
Yeah.
You just saved money.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
You
You're
have
welcome.
you have a big opportunity here to, the 5270 is a unique building,
Yes.
and this is an important entrance to Skokie. You come down, it's on a
Yes.
curve, and you see all of
Yes.
this, there's stop signs everywhere, and
Yes.
there's a lot going on.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you have a real opportunity to create a separation between these two buildings, even though it's one use, by this breezeway or whatever it is
understand.
you're adding. And that could be the separation by either pulling, you're actually talking about brick, but on 5270, that's all land and stone on the front, on those wings
Right.
that stick out.
Right.
And, you know, maybe that space that's in between is something that's distinct and it kind of ties the two together, even though it's different.
Yes.
So you don't have to try to match anything.
Okay.
It could be something fantastic.
Fancy something, okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and that way you don't have to add a lot
And we
of,
got some bushes in the front, so,
well, it should be architecture.
Okay,
And
yeah,
bushes
sure.
are bushes,
Sure, sure.
they get run over.
okay.
But it just seems like there's a real opportunity for you here to
Okay.
create something
Sure.
simple but unique.
Yeah.
And this kind of misses it, just because you've got your existing, the fascia and the
Yeah, to
soffits
just-
and all
okay.
that stuff is really kind of simple, and it's tacked on anyways, whereas 5270 is a really distinctive building.
Right,
I understand.
right.
So,
I mean, that infill there, and sorry to interrupt, Joe.
Sure.
I mean, you might consider, you know, bringing what is the facade material, by the way? Is it metal? Is it a metal soffit? That?
Yeah, that is metal.
And is that new, or you're keeping the existing? There, right there where the cursor is?
Yeah, we'll keep the existing as well.
Oh.
And we'll
So,
put,
so maybe the front, instead of brick there
mhm.
at the connection, maybe, you know, you make it metal panel.
Okay,
And you know, and bring the facade down, bring the awning
sure,
down.
I take that, yeah.
You know, that'll give it continuity for
Sure.
that building. And you're not even touching 5270.
Sure.
and if you were to add a color like
Right.
the red or the green from your
Sure.
sign, and
Got
just really make it distinctive, yeah, so
I
you
got it.
can
Yeah.
really create something interesting.
That should
Right.
be good.
So, what is your plan for that metal paneling on 5264? You're gonna paint it? You're gonna put a coat of paint on it? No? No, not right now?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
On the facade?
For for where you have the sign, Badri Foods?
Yeah.
Are you going to
what-
paint it, or are we just gonna make the connection and,
We'll just, right now, we'll make the connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, fine.
I mean, to be clear, the proposal was to replace and all of this, to have, this would all be new fascia.
So, maybe he was trying to put a new, like, instead of taking this existing one out, maybe he's just putting
Right.
some material on top of it. Okay.
Yeah, so this was the proposal, and from what I hear you saying is, and from the commission, is to just keep it the same?
Well, if it's gonna be new, great. I think it'll look better. But you can incorporate the new, whatever the material is going to be, into the opening.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So leave this building alone,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then,
Right.
And how about the east side of this building? The east side of 5270, can I extend that facade? The 30 feet, which is, coming out of the east, from the east side?
That will be probably the 50 to 70, right?
Yeah, the east side, whatever, like the existing 30 feet, which is coming out. So can I turn the facade?
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah. You're gonna turn it down to the
Yeah,
corridor, right?
yes, by the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what's there now? Just a brick and a parapet?
Yeah, the same material, same
Oh,
thing, we'll just
okay.
stretch it.
If you wanna, yeah, sure, if you wanna wrap the
Yeah.
the
So that
the
looks
fascia
one-
around,
Yeah.
go for it.
so on the a return or all the way on that elevation?
Are you talking about
No,
the
this
corridor
5270,
side?
yeah. The corridor side.
Yeah, the big,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
big
okay.
overhang is just on the Lincoln side.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so the proposal would be then to extend it, that big overhang to the east so that there's a
Yes.
covered walkway.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any comments, staff? Sounds okay? Yeah? Okay. Arshana, do you think you can handle that one? Joe, what do you think?
All right, and then I have a question after we're done with this.
Yeah,
I have
sure.
a question how the process works.
Okay.
I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness to be granted for case number, oh God, here goes. 2021-041A, with comments, which would be the hard part, keeping 5270 elevation as is, creating the connection with the same material that's used on the front overhang of 5264, and being a new material, and adding, we talked about color, but then we didn't, something unique to that
Okay.
breezeway, just to that area, not,
I get that,
yeah.
sure.
And would you want that contrasting color to go to the roof line or just to the storefront line?
To make that clear separation between the two,
Okay.
so that it's a distinct, it's two separate buildings,
Okay.
because you're not changing one. The point
Okay.
is to make it,
So all the way up to the roof
yeah,
line?
and then, so that they're tied together.
Okay.
Sure.
And extending
And-
the soffit line from 5270 around to the east side.
Sure.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed? So passed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
Thank you.
my question for the committee, and I want to do this now if I can, while I'm still thinking about it, is it appropriate?
We have one more case. Can it sit, or is it?
It's about how, what triggers, like there's the elevation on the east side of this, which is not being touched. It has no windows, and it's just not real nice, and the sign is old, and is that plan commission items, or is that, what triggers appearance, and where does it end?
We'll take that in executive session.
Okay,
How's that?
that would be good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
How did I do, Matt? Is that all right?
That works.
Okay.
You can give me a call if you'd like.
Okay,
I don't have a card on me, but I'll get you one.
I know where to find you.
Okay, that works.
Okay, we have almost, well, we have two more cases. The next one is 2021-042A at 3330 Dempster for MNCDK LLC, 3320. Jeremy Kriska? Good evening, how are you?
Good evening. I'm good.
Great. The comments are, staff has no objections with the design. However, it is recommended that the street trees be located within a parkway along Dempster with the sidewalk adjacent to the building. Technical items to be addressed include meeting the site distance triangle requirements of the village code and addressing all items from the March 21 preliminary plan review, including a site plan approval, zoning map, amendment, etc., processed through the Plan Commission and Village Board. Also, a PIN consolidation or simple subdivision will be necessary. All right, what do you got?
All right. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. So, as residents of Skokie, I'm sure you are aware of the vacant shopping center on the corner of Dempster and Ewing. So, as of December, that's been demolished, and it's now just a vacant lot. And we would like to propose a development of a mixed-use building, which will have 2 commercial spaces on the ground floor and 23 apartments above.
Wow.
We've included 3D renderings. Those are the last 4 pictures of our packet. So the ground floor facing Dempster will have the two commercial spaces and then 25 spots for vehicles. And then there's going to be 15 additional spaces in the alley. And those will be
Excuse me,
yeah, sure.
What is the building? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, it's mixed use with 2 commercial spaces and 23 apartments above.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the alley spaces will be for the commercial spots and additional spaces for people in the apartments. The ground floor is going to have a 7.5-foot setback with a plaza along the Ewing Avenue side and a 3-foot setback for landscaping along Dempster. And the Dempster side is going to have 4 stories, while behind it there will be only 3 stories with a deck on the roof. And then as for like colors and everything, on the 3D renderings, we have the colors are close for pretty much everything. The only major difference is those white spots under the windows and right above the commercial windows. Those were going to be more of a gray or a darker color than that. And as seen here, the entrance to the garage would be from the Ewing Avenue side.
And is there a site plan?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some texture as to where this is located. What's across the street?
It's just west of Crawford. There's a bank, and then
West of Crawford.
and then that's the next property over.
It's a little further west of the bank, is that,
Yes,
okay.
there is a shot.
Okay, all right. Wow, cool. And I'm sorry, materials? Could you walk us through that?
Yeah, so the building itself is going to be a reddish-brown brick.
Right?
The white spots, I believe that was going to be wood or metal exterior paneling.
ACM paneling, something
Yeah.
like that?
The gray that would be limestone.
Limestone, right, banding, okay.
Yeah.
And the windows are, aluminum windows
Yeah,
with,
anodized aluminum,
right, color?
dark brown.
Dark brown. And parapet cap, same,
Yeah.
okay. And storefront to match, I presume? The same
yeah.
anodized brown?
Mhm.
Okay. Can I, Matt, can I see the elevation, the Dempster elevation? in the photo, in the rendering, rather? Do we have one full on?
Not from the front, so we have two angle views.
Ah, okay. Yeah, all right.
In the entrance, it is, what about the entrance? Which material is there on the entrance, main entrance?
It's limestone and brick. So this is, okay, it is recommended that the trees be located within a parkway along Dempster
So the
with the
issue,
sidewalk. Where,
so the issue with that is that right now the sidewalk is lined up with the sidewalk on either sides of it. So
Sure.
if we added a parkway, it would have to kind of go in and out to have enough room for a parkway. And if you go to either side of it, the other buildings, like along Dempster, there's no parkways either. So right now it's kind of just in line with.
Right.
Yes, there's like a one.
But they can add a parkway on Dempster.
Without adding to the right-of-way, there wouldn't be, and there's a strip of about 6 inches between the curb and the sidewalk, the back of curb and sidewalk. So, and it looks to me like the right-of-way is probably just beyond that. And right now, the existing parking, between the sidewalk and the parking lot existing parking lot is about 3 feet. So that would be challenging to get trees that close to Dempster. I understand why the reason would be to try to get a parkway, but in this case, I'm not sure that it would work. Just because of the health of the trees, it would probably be better to have the trees farther away from the sidewalk and the street.
To have the trees where?
On the building side of the sidewalk, as opposed to a parkway. This is, Ewing is 1 block west of McCormick, and that bank on the corner.
Oh, it's in the corner.
They recently tore it down. It's just been grassed over. And that section of Dempster is really urban. There's the sidewalk to the west of them is, I think, 6 or 7 feet, and it's back a curb to sidewalk.
All right. This is east of Crawford, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
East of Crawford, yeah.
right.
Right, it's about Lincolnwood.
It's across the street from Ken's Diner.
Yeah, there you
Would you
go.
say?
Yep.
Is that
Yeah,
a-
pretty
is that
much
a-
in that area, yeah.
All right.
It's, so that comment, it's understandable because it,
There's not a lot of option there.
and then, the city controls the trees, our foresters
Right.
can do what they need to do. And, this way, they're proposing the trees be on, would those be on public right away? Or,
I don't believe so. I mean, it's just right.
it's
like,
hard to
along-
tell with
it's
this.
right
picture.
along the
Can
building.
you go back to the rendering map?
Well, it does look, it does look like this is probably the right of way line here. So,
I don't know.
it looks like a property line symbol anyways.
Yeah, it looks like they could be in the parkway.
Well, see, this is perfect. There's the curb at the bottom, the concrete curb. Then the sidewalk is a carriage walk essentially along the curb. And then there's a diagonal section of right-of-way that would be where the trees would be, which is where it says part taken for street, underneath 150.
Yeah.
So there, I see what they're saying. If we were to recommend put the sidewalk up against the property line and create a parkway in this area here, we'd be leaving just a few feet along Dempster for trees, and I'm not sure that that's healthy.
There are some trees, for example, in front of the bagel store here. I don't know that they're very vibrant, but there are trees there, and the parkway is narrow. Matt, can you show the rendering?
showing the parkway trees.
There's existing trees
but
on the site.
Parkway on Ewing, but not on the Dempster side.
Wait, isn't that the corner though?
Are,
This is Dempster,
Yeah.
this is Ewing.
But there's no parkway on Dempster.
So-
There's a
right.
parkway planting
So
on Ewing.
Dempster, the trees are on the property, the building's property.
I think they may be on the right of way, as we were just describing on the last site plan. And right now, there's 1, 2, 3 existing honey locusts that hopefully they'd be able to preserve, but I doubt it because of the size of your building. And they look fairly healthy. So, and they're between the sidewalk and the parking lot, but I think they're in the right of way. So I think what's being asked by staff is that we create a parkway between the curb and the sidewalk. So we create a parkway.
It's a tree lawn.
Yeah, which would be unique to that block.
It would.
Yeah, and our concern with that was having the sidewalks just not being aligned anymore from the other sides of the street.
Yeah, I don't know that there's that much foot traffic along that stretch
No.
to be overly concerned with that. But it's a valid comment. Okay, any other comments?
I think it's essential to have trees to soften that building. I mean, Dempster has a lot going on there, and trees are very important to have in the parkway.
So, I mean, the trees within the rendering, like, would something like that be all right, though? Because, I mean, we're still proposing what we see here on the rendering. It just would be without the additional parkway.
Yeah, I don't think we're suggesting elimination of the tree, it's the location of them.
Right, right.
Are you would you be Mary Jane, in favor of the parkway idea, or would you be okay with what you see there?
Well, I would think if they're in the parkway, there would be more trees. You know, that just shows 4 trees.
Would you guys be opposed to that?
We wouldn't be opposed to just additional trees, or
No,
actually adding the
moving-
parkway.
Adding a parkway.
We'd be willing to consult with village staff and
Okay.
do whatever works.
Yeah, I think that's a good solution. We'll let you guys work it out.
What is a good solution? Could you?
Letting the petitioner work it out with the village as to whether or not a parkway will be added. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for the parkway, so.
Okay.
So if there is a preference, we'd like to hear from the commission.
Oh, okay.
And to be clear, there's 6 trees along the Dempster side.
3 of those on there are actually trees that were going to be removed, and then
Oh, is that right?
yeah.
Okay, so just 3?
What, 3 of them are existing? Is that-
Along Dempster, 3 are existing, and they'd be relocated. I'm not sure if at the moment it's going to be the same trees.
I think it's 50 feet by ordinance anyways. I think you have to plant them 50 feet on center. I'm pretty sure I don't.
3 trees.
Yeah, along Dempster.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm in favor of supporting the village's comments on this one. Sounds like, Mary Jane, you are as well,
Yes.
okay? So, any other comments?
Well, certainly.
No, well, jump on it.
Going back to the rendering, and I really like this project. I think it's great. I think it's a great use for the site. I'm really excited to see that you're interested in doing something like this in our community. It is a prominent location, given that the bank is kind of set back a little bit, and there's some space between. And I bank there, so I sit there and I was wondering what you guys were doing. And looking at that corner, and then looking at the facade, there's a lot of exposure on the south, just the south face that faces Dempster. And looking at this, I like the design, I think it's appropriate, but had you considered, or would you consider, like aluminum, or some type of metal sunshades over the windows, or on one of the floors, just to add a little bit more, just a little bit more depth to the elevation, and it might even improve the livability of some of those units. If you did it on the middle floor, on the third floor, just the sunshades there might give the building just a little bit more pizzazz.
So, I mean, we haven't discussed anything like that at the moment, but, I mean, I'm sure it's something we'd be definitely like willing to consider.
There is a concern with overhang on the right of way,
Okay.
with ice and snow falling in.
Sure.
I know IDOT hasn't allowed it.
Sure. But if it would be within the property though, and not overhanging the right-of-way, would that work?
Yes, absolutely.
It just seems like, you know, and granted, this is a computer elevation, so it doesn't show a lot of shadow and a lot of depth to you know, how the windows kind of sit. But it just struck me that just one little, yeah, like a little more touch might make the building even better. So, and that's, you know, kind of looking at some of the other buildings that have been approved recently,
Yeah.
I just kind of look at them and it's like, oh, there's one more thing you could do. And that's my opportunity.
Okay. I'm gonna make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2021-042A at 3330 Dempster, with the addition of a parkway greenbelt along the Dempster Street elevation, excuse me, matching that on the Ewing elevation, that the petitioner consider, and strongly consider, and look into the possibility of an eyebrow type feature, not necessarily at every floor, but at least on one floor, to lend some more interest to at least the Dempster facade, and that all other technical items be addressed, including meeting the site triangle distance requirements and the pin consolidation, et cetera, et cetera. Otherwise, as submitted.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed? So passed.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Good evening. Thank you.
It's an exciting project. Okay, which brings us to our last case, 2021-025A at 7852 Kildare for Edward Janusz, residential new construction.
Oh, yes,
Welcome.
Edward. I'm the architect, Edward Livano.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
So you were tasked with meeting with your neighbors and perhaps presenting a compromise design.
Right, yep.
And is this the result of your compromise?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, we basically changed the flat roof to a pitch roof, 412, hip roof. Nothing else has changed apart from that. Oh, actually, the driveway, we also changed that. We narrowed it a bit where it's closest to the street, but then in order to preserve that parkway tree, but then it expands to the full width of the garage. So these are the two main changes we made.
Okay.
And yeah, the roof has increased in height now. It was, I think, 24 feet. Now it's 27 because of the pitch. But it's still below 28.
Okay. Comment?
Members of the commission, my name is Dave Baum. I have the home that's adjacent to to this proposal at 7848 Kildare. We met with the petitioner and the architect last Monday evening at the lot and talked about a number of changes, which included a change in the design of the driveway, which the owner has agreed to. As you can tell from the original plans, the shape of the house has changed dramatically from being nothing but a group of boxes to now a shaped home. The color, as I understand it, will be gray brick.
Right, yep. Glengarry, Sioux City, Ebonite.
I do have a couple of questions, though, for the architect and the commission. Are you using aluminum siding or engineered plastic siding?
It's aluminum siding, but it looks like wood. It has a coating on it that makes it look like a cherry wood, I think.
So it is aluminum siding?
Yeah.
Okay. We wanted to have you explain, if you could, the drainage in the backyard. Is there going to be a catch basin, or is that the province of the commission, or is that?
It really is not.
Okay.
However, those issues are addressed and evaluated by the engineering staff. You know, you can bring them up, but you know, where the water goes is not under our purview.
Okay.
But it'll be taken care of.
Okay. Those were the issues I had, 3 or 4 issues
Okay.
the neighbors had about where the water goes, since there's no crawl space and there's a concrete slab.
Those will be addressed.
Okay.
Hopefully to everyone's satisfaction, and with the proper science. Any other comments? We've, okay, well, I want to thank you, petitioner, for your compromise on this. I want to thank Mr. Baum and all of your neighbors for also compromising on this case.
And thank you for giving us the opportunity through a couple of extensions to help make some what we think will be helpful changes to the block.
Well, that's great. You're welcome. And I hope you find it to be a good addition.
Thank you.
So, any other comments on this one? I think we've heard plenty already, and seems that everybody agrees that with the design. So, Mary Jane, why don't you ring it up?
What should I do?
Make a motion.
Make a motion, okay. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted to case 2021-025A at 7852 Kildare as presented.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed. So passed.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
One question.
Yeah.
We've already approved.
Sure.
So let's adjourn the meeting first, Joe, okay?
Thank you.
I think everybody is done. Thank you. You could wait for the answer. We're adjourned.
Fargo House?
I spotted this a while back, and I was